Hey y'all, this is Koopa. I'm back with another competitive map guide, this time for Eeltail Alley. We're going to be starting off in zones, and we're going to start off with the competitive callouts. So our first callout's kind of in a really funny spot. I don't even know you can get up here. But yeah, this is the thing. I don't know why. If for some reason an enemy charges up here, it's called cat. So the wrong cat. Back here is spawn. Pretty much all of this is spawn. Even up here is still spawn. So the only spot that's kind of on this upper area that's not spawn is this grate, and it is called grate, funny enough. Over here, this is flat, so the entire area is grass plus this, I don't know what to call it, steel area. Up here, starting on this ramp, and this whole area is called roof. This is a really important one to know because a lot of chargers will sit up here, especially on tower control and rainmaker. So down here, this is beams. So the uninkable as well as these beams are called beams. And then after this one-way drop, we have court. So court is all of this area as well as this area right here. So this whole area is court. Up here, this is booth, this one block. You come down here, this is perch. So this whole area just painted is perch. Come over here, this bridge is called bridge. Super creative, I know. We come down here, this area right here is called bunker. You can kind of tell because the bunker here, kind of, I don't know what I'm saying. Over here we have bridge, or ramp, sorry, ramp. So, there's two ramps. That's how you know this ramp. And then right here is snipe. So, especially on zones, so I chose zones, you can tell it's snipe because you see over here, some really dirty shots in. And then of course down here is mid. The entire section is mid. There's two more callouts. Right here is called pocket. This one is so incredibly important to know. I can't tell you how many times there's been someone right there and I've forgotten the word for this little spot. It's called pocket. Then right here, as I just painted, it's called drop. Because it's a one-way drop, can't get back up. And that is all the actual callouts. Now I'm going to go over to choke points. So zones, again, is a really good showing of this choke point because it's a true choke point here. There is no other way to get into the opponent's spawn unless you go through this area. So that is why it is probably the biggest choke point in the entire game, besides the brine water. So very important. After that, there's actually another choke point on this map. This uninkable area. So that's why this map is not always considered the best, because there are two really heavy choke points on this map. So this right here is really uninkable, and it's a choke point. Luckily that's not as bad on Rainmaker. For all the other modes, yeah, it's pretty bad. And then as far as objectives go, zones is right here. It's a really large zone, so you're gonna want a painting weapon, probably a shooter on your comp whenever you go into this map, because getting that paint down is so important. And then, most people don't realize, but you can like pop a bazooka here if like you have mates pushed up or something, or even strikes. You can get so much control. Like this one is kind of blocking you, but all those other spots you can hit so easily. The charger can't really do much unless they just are insane aim and can snipe you off the crab. But if you get a Zuka, you can just delete them. And I wish you could make this jump, but you cannot. But still, it is very good to come up here and pressure the backline or any other players up their back. So yeah, very good to know. And then it is so incredibly important to keep control of your bridge. So this is my side, right? Like, I want to be pushed up, but I have to make sure I control this bridge no matter what, even if they have the zone, because if the enemy team is able to set up on your bridge, I'll show you what you can do. It doesn't have to be a crab tank. It can literally be pretty much any special. It can be a Zuka, it can be a backline, it can be pretty much anything, honestly. Crab tank, you cannot get on your roof. We're just gonna die. You cannot get on your booth. You're just gonna die. And you pretty much can't drop off into court. Unless you can find a way to get rid of whatever backline is up here. So that's why pushes on this map are so hard to stop. It's because of that bridge. See how much pain I was able to get onto here from that crab tank. Like, it's insane. So yeah. That's pinch off for zones. Oh, I did not have that thing. Zones is very interesting on that map. I really for all the other modes create zones because it's just those choke points are so rough. Okay, tower control is not as bad as zones, mostly because the choke points. Or first choke point talked about is not as bad. So the objective goes in a pretty straight line. It's nothing too crazy. Thing is, this choke point is not there anymore. You can get off here. You can take space over here. You can go through mid, like what you could do in zones. Or you can go on this right side. This right side is so incredibly important for attackers. Because if you control this, you can get so much pressure onto the left side, which is where the enemies are going to be trying to defend on the first, or the second checkpoint. Fast first checkpoint, doesn't really matter. Really easy to get across. Now, the second checkpoint is interesting, because again, it's not a hard checkpoint, or it is a pretty hard checkpoint to pass. Unless you get someone up here, then you pretty much they can't move on left. So, you gotta push them up to their roof at this point. And then the third checkpoint is where pushes make or break, typically. So what we want to do is have someone come up on a roof, get them off of roof, and then try to honestly get, this choke point is really annoying on this map, because we typically do on other maps is have someone come over here and try to take pressure, but it doesn't really add a ton of value on this map, unless you have a range blaster, or something like that. So you really just want everyone to kind of full send on this choke point on this map. So, yeah, if you're defending, keep control of roof. If you lose control, honestly, you just kind of have to rush it. You can try to, see if you're over here, you can try to take control of this. You might be able to stop the push, but you probably won't be able to stop the push if you just hang out right there. You gotta make sure you have someone getting onto the tower, and there's not really many good ways to do that. So the tower's right here. If I'm on this side, I could try to come around here, but unless I do that like way before, they're probably gonna be knocked out by the time the tower gets to the end. So you really just need to drop off of there, and if you have specials, use them. And yeah, tower control is not the best in this map. Rainmaker is my favorite mode in this map. You'll see why in just a second. It is the only mode that both choke points aren't full choke points. So on all the other modes, this is the only way to get into the spawn. It's the only way. Well, in this map, there's this ramp. So that means the opponents have two ways of getting into the spawn, which immediately makes this map like 3 times better. Also notice the checkpoint is here and here. You won't really see too many people going for this checkpoint, although it is viable. It's really viable. Most people do choose to go for this checkpoint. I'll show you why in a second. I'm gonna get this pop. So for this checkpoint, you have high ground here, and you can jump down the Rainmaker. I'm not going to yet. And you still have high ground. Over here, you have to go into low ground, which immediately makes your position after getting the checkpoint much worse, because you have to grab Rainmaker, but then you got all this high ground around you, so it's hard to do much. If you're over here, yeah, so there's this high ground over here. You can still, so much more visibility, and you can push it a little bit easier over here. After the checkpoint though, some people do choose to take it left, which is pretty viable, because, I'll probably make her again. If you come over here, it is really easy to defend yourself, especially if you have a teammate over there guarding that area. You defend, and then you can come right over here. I know this is my checkpoint. And then you can get the dunk. Typically your push will stop on the ramp, but that's still quite a bit of points. So, yeah, that's how people do. The reason I people don't do that first is because getting that checkpoint from that angle takes a long time. On this one, you literally just come from right there to there, jump, get check. So it's really easy to get that checkpoint. I think that's about it for that map. I'm gonna go over Clam Blitz now. Clam Blitz is, again, not quite as bad as Zones, but it's like tower control. It's a little worse, in my opinion. The basket is in your court on Clam Blitz, which means it's honestly a pretty good spot for the clam basket. That's not the problem with this map, in my opinion. Problem with this map is this is happening again. There's no way to get up over here. No way to get up over here. But unlike Zones, you can come up here and go around like this. And let me get part of them. I'm gonna show on the other side, team side. You can come up here, go like this, and then jump. If I'm not mistaken, you can even stay on the bridge and throw clams in. I could be mistaken on that though. So you can still make them. It's kind of not too precise, but you can still do it. The reason why I honestly don't really even like that jump is because that encourages the enemy team to get on the bridge, which means they can crab tank, lock you into their spawn. Which is the same problem with Zones. And this map is also like Zones Tower Control, where this is the only way to get into the spawn. Which on this map I don't really mind, because you're probably not going to be going into the spawn anyways for Clan Blitz. Yeah, and then pushes are really hard to start on this map, but once you start them, they're typically pretty easy to keep going. Like clams spawn up here. Like actually, if I'm not bad at the game, pushes can typically last for a pretty long time, because once you get into this area, like I said, you have the best crafting spot in the entire game. And you also have the best spot for chargers. Most maps in Clan Blitz chargers struggle to push. On this map, they can just sit here and make sure you don't move in, and the rest of your team just gets clams and pushes them all in. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for Eeltail. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next time we'll be going over, we're going over Undertow next time. So yeah, that's a really fun map, and I hope I'll see you guys there. Bye-bye.